really lovely. So I want to share with you in this video just a really short but deep dive into what stress is, how we experience it in the body. So stress is not just a psychological state, it's not just a feeling. Stress is physiological, it's in our bodies. So and the real thing is, although we are dealing with computers and all this technology, our bodies have not changed very much since caveman times, basically. So what that means is we have very similar responses in our bodies to stress as we would have back then. And what happens when we're stressed? Well, our heart rate goes up, our breathing quickens, because we're preparing to run away from danger. Our pupils dilate, cortisol and adrenaline shoot through our body, and all of this is a response that is meant to prepare us for a big response. So a running away or a fighting against danger. So these same responses happen to us now. Only our problem is that we're not very good, we're not very sophisticated, let's say, at interpreting what stress or danger is. So for us today, stress and danger that can initiate that whole response of adrenaline could be an email, could be having to speak in public, could be a run-in with someone who is difficult in your life. You know, it could be a move, that you have to move house. It could be all kinds of things. It could be imagined in your head, scenarios that you're worried about. So all of these things create the same physiological response in our bodies as if we were really running away from danger. Only we're not running away from danger. And so the adrenaline and cortisol in our bodies, the quick breathing, and the rapid heart rate doesn't have anywhere to go. The other thing that happens to us is this response that has evolved over, millennia of our, human evolution was meant to be a very rare occurrence that was initiated during times of danger. Most of your life was supposed to be lived in what we call the parasympathetic nervous system response. So the rest and digest and relax place, that's your home. So we have these two kind of responses. We have the sympathetic nervous system that gets triggered when we have stress or we're introduced to a stress. And we have the parasympathetic nervous system that tells us to relax and, rest and everything's well. Health, our immune system, our sense and feeling of well-being comes from the parasympathetic nervous system. And the sympathetic nervous system, that stress response, is meant to be very rare. So we have this stress introduced to us, we have this response, and then quite quickly, once the danger is past, once we've run away from danger or we've fought it off, we drop back into our home, which is our rest and relax place. The problem that we have now in modern society is that we have a lot of stress and stimulation coming to us that we have to respond to that feels stressful. And so when we are not able to come all the way back to our resting place before the next stressor is introduced to us, we start to not return fully to our home, if that makes sense. So when we're not able to fully recover from the previous stress and the next stress comes and the next email comes or the next situation comes and then the difficult person comes, over time we lose track of our way home. We can't make it all the way back. So even our resting place, our sort of status quo, is still, physiologically speaking, like in our bodies, still in the stress zone. We're still producing too much adrenaline and cortisol. We're still have more of a rapid heartbeat, or we're still breathing too fast. So what we need to do is learn how to intervene on this. And as we both know, there's no way that you can tell your mind to just relax. Like telling your body from your mind to just relax. It's, don't get so worked up about it. This just does not work. What we need to do is communicate to our body a sense of well-being in a language that it understands. And so we can't control how fast our heart beats, and we can't control how much cortisol and adrenaline get released in our body, but what we can do is control our breathing. And if any one of these things shifts, it's a signal to all of the things in this cycle that's interconnected to shift gears, okay? So we want to think about the breath a little bit like a bridge between the sort of conscious intentions that we have to let go of stress and step away from stress, and our body that needs to hear that in a certain language. All right, so that is basically why we're working with the breath. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you here. Basically, we just need to think about our bodies like an ecosystem. We need to treat it like everything is interconnected, and we change one thing and it has a knock-on expansive impact on us. So these breathing practices are going to communicate directly with your heart, and you're going to be able to slow down your heart rate to a comfortable level if it's racing. You're going to be able to also just get that sense of well-being that is hard to put your finger on, but is like more of a feeling. And certainly this will have an impact on your mind. So your mind will begin to slow down and just feel a little bit more grounded. So that's what we're working with. And there's a few more videos that I want you to watch. So we're going to now move into learning more about how our breathing actually works, which is super amazing, and also about learning what our unique starting point is. So there's this beautiful quote by Donna Farhi, who's a breath expert, that says, your breath is a reflection of how you feel, because the breath doesn't lie to us. So it's a lovely method of working, and it's also a lovely lens to just check in with ourselves and see, like, sometimes, I don't know about you, but I can convince myself that I'm fine, and we have this joke in my family that, like, it's fine. We all kind of do that sometimes. But your breath isn't going to tell you you're fine if you're not fine. So we can learn certain ways of looking at the breath to see, like, how am I doing? And then once you get that genuine answer, then you can do something about it to actually support and help yourself. So I will see you in the next video.